Good morning and welcome back to the Home Renovation Experts. Steve here on this 5x3 garden room build, which is coming along absolutely jubbling. Cup of tea, so you know I'm not telling a lie. So my plan for today is going to be vapor barriering the roof and the walls. You can see obviously the insulation's in, it's all been like foamed into place, so it's never moving, not going anywhere, including the light access. Patches on the wall as well, so I've got cup tea, so there you go, cook that, there's patches there, there's a cable box thingamajobsy so that we can poke the HDMI cables in, and comes out there, taking into account the fact we've got skirting and stuff to make sure bring it up at the right height, because done that before. And that is kind of it. I missed a bit of expanding foam in this joint, so I've just literally plonked that in, because you know, fill absolutely everything, insulation above those points, and at the back as well, so that is all sealed, ready to rock. So I'll get the vapor barrier up, which is just down it, get it all tacked into place. I'll show you doing that. I'll also then be cracking on with the plasterboarding, making it a room, and I'll show you how I do that as well, especially the roof ones, because I know people struggle with those. There are many ways of doing it. I've got my way using the bits and pieces that I've got, and it works really well, so I'll show you that in a little bit as well. But I'm going to finish this first, and then I'll start cracking on. I'll see you in a second. Righty dokie. So, vapor barrier, person on YouTube, vapor barrier. Now the introductions are done. What you're going to do is you're going to take it over there and wrap it over that corner a little bit, like that. Give yourself plenty, inexpensive. Do nicely. Roll it, roll it, roll it. Keep that vapor rolling. Get down to the end. Again, give yourself a little bit extra up the wall, just to make sure we're going to overhit it, which is lovely. And then put a score down it. Done. And what you're going to want to do is, before you start even trying to put this stuff up, I just run around, make sure that all my cables are nice and in the zones they're going to be in. You don't want them to be trapped under here and stuff like that, because it gets a pain in the arse when you're then trying to like put your plasterboard up and stuff. So everything's nice and neat, everything's where it needs to be. I've double checked to make sure there's no insulation that's poking down and protruding, because obviously this is really your last chance to get to it. And then what you do is stapler, hammer tack. I've got spare staples on me as well, and an hammer, because all those ones that don't quite go in, you can just give them a tap once you're kind of finished. But to do this bit, you just got to get on with it. You just got to get in, get under, and crack on. So, without further ado, like I say, when I start putting it up, I kind of hover it in place. I will make sure I've got a hang down that wall, so that way you've got the hang down there, a little bit dropping down the back, and a drop over there. So that way when I do the walls, I can then just like foil tape those joints to complete the seal. I'm going in. Right, so I put 3 in just to kind of hold it up, then I'll walk the line, just making sure that edge close to this wall is basically like all lined up nicely and keeping it tight, and then I'll put it towards you, towards the camera. there goes up. So, every sort of second joist I've done, just 3 in it, because if you just put 1 or 2, sometimes when you're trying to pull the line, they plop out and it's just a pain in the bum. But that makes life a lot easier now, because obviously it is new. So just going to pull it a bit tight, see where it's going to naturally want to lie. So I'll pick this one first. Just again, you just try and keep it up, ready to then walk down the line and just crack on. It doesn't matter if it's not perfect and stuff, it's absolutely fine. Lovely. And what I'll do now is I'll just walk down each joist, belting in across the line. I'll then cut a second piece, and then do exactly the same again. And then that is it up and down. And what this does is it helps to prevent moisture from like getting through the building. So basically if moisture got in for whatever reason, it won't get further than this, obviously, because it'll evaporate and it can get out through the breathable membrane. So that's the system, that's how it works. So I'm gonna crack on and belt in 1 billion staples now. Right, dokie, so it's taking, what time is it? 10:30. So it's taking me the morning, but now all done. All the joints where the joint between the vapour barrier is now all taped up with foil. Front all done and dusted. So now it's time to set up for a bit of plasterboarding. So this is where now my California corners really come into play. It's plasterboard time and I'm excited. Plasterboarding. It's good fun, especially when you're Todd and you're using 12.5mm thick plasterboard. I always use 12.5, even on ceilings, just because it's thicker, it's stronger, it's better. That's all right, it weighs a bit more, but you know, you can get around these things. So how do I hold boards up on my own? Magic. So what I generally do is, I've always got bits of spare wood kicking around, so I generally zip one to this wall, and that carries that side, holds it up there, lovely jubbly for you. I've got 4 of these adjustable poles. Can't remember what they're called. Somebody tell me. These come from Screwfix. Absolutely bloody amazing. They come in pairs. I think they're like 50 quid a pop. But worst case, you can hire some acros, like your plasterboard, like special machines that lift it. There's lots of different ways, but this is cheap, cheerful, and it absolutely does the job. So what I've done is, I just want to get this one up and held. I'm not going to screw yet. I'll make sure it's tight up against the wall on this side. I'll make sure it's tight up against the wall this side, and it's all aligned where I want it to be. I will then get the next one cut to fit and get that one up. I won't at that point like fix it straight away, because what I'll then do is I'll get a level off of this edge, yeah, straight across onto this one, and then pull them and adjust them as I need to, so I know they're laying and running absolutely flush. Because don't forget, there's tolerance here. So if this needs to swing this way or whatever, I've got 12.5mm because I've got the next bit of plasterboard that's going on the wall, so I can adjust as I need to. And this room's pretty much square anyway, so I won't have any major issues. So what I'll do is I'll get the next one cut. I'll do the same again. Bit of wood over there. Bim bam boff. 2 more of those. Hold this end up. Job's a good one. Level it up, and I'll show you that in a second as well. And that's it. Right, back in a moment. Right, so I've got these 2 jacked up now, as you can see. Now what you'll see is they're buttoned up nice through there, basically. Little bit of that's a shadow gap you're looking at, by the way. But you can see you get to the end. Not a line. So if I'd screwed this one, I'd have no ability to change that. So all I will do is grab this here level, scratch my nose, and put it on there like so. And now if you look down, if it's flush on this one, bring it through. You can see there's a gap there now, yeah? So all I need to do is tug this board to my left, so the furthest one from that wall, just tug it up towards this end, and that'll be it straight. I know that every board after that then sits true and runs through beautifully. So I shall now adjust that, because I really do need 2 hands for that. So I'll get that done, and then I can get these 2 zipped up, and that's me started. Happy days. Oh, and before I forget, when you're doing your measurements, so once I kind of had this one up, and I'm measuring the length to this one to get the measurement, firstly, give yourself a bit of breathing space. Don't cut it completely tight, so a little bit of a gap there. So sort of 5 odd mil, 6 mil, something like that. You know where the 1.2 is from there, because you want to measure to exactly there. Measure off of that wall to this wall. Put yourself a little pencil mark at a 1.2 metre mark, so that when you put your tape on, you know you're going to be square up to that. Because what can happen is you can sometimes do it and like your tape might be over here because you don't know where 1.2 is just by looking at it, or over there somewhere, which means you're getting a diagonal one, which means you're not going to be cutting it correct. So by just marking a pencil mark at 1.2, you're getting a square measurement to that one over there. That's good, isn't it? Right, I've screwed in the ends, but little tip here again, because I'm full of those. How the heck do I know where I'm going to put my screws, yeah? I haven't got a clue, have I? Or do I? So because I can still get and still feel where these all are, yeah? All I go and do is mark off where the studs are, the joists. I can then put my level onto that mark, I like that. I can then easily figure out where the centre of this one is because I've got my fingers right here. And then all I'll do is pencil mark across, like that. Now I know, every time I put a screw in, I'm going to be hitting straight through the centre of a joist. So I just go and mark off all of those, put the level on, and then zip the lot up. Easy. Two boards up, no gap down that joint anymore, which is absolutely splendiferous. And there you go. All my Jack Jones, didn't even break a sweat. So what I'll do now is, I will now get the next measurement. I will take a full board from probably, I've got one joist, two joists. So this one will probably go from about this one, just so I get a nice two lap overlap. So there's a joint there. So you always want to stagger them. That'll bring it to there. And then that's it. Keep running through. So I'll have two boards here and a little cutty bit at the front. Oh, I love this part. I like all parts, you know that. But I like closing it in now. No, it's all protected, all the installation's in. Oh yeah. Right, the ceiling is now done. And it's very, very, very nice. Oh yeah. So now I'm onto the walls. So the first one is now cutting up. So I've also got the California corner, so I've got a fix in for there, which is beautiful. Slight trim off to pick up the centre of this one because of the way the wall works. And then from that point forward, it's just a 1.2 board straight on, and we'll hit every single noggin. Not noggin, we've got a stud. Yeah, you thought I'd forget, I didn't. The other little top tip is, like what I did earlier, I don't think it's still on the floor, pencil mark, pencil mark, pencil mark. So that is where the centre of the studs is on the floor, just so you've got a point of reference. What we also know is, if I bring it here, because my roof joists sit directly above the vertical studs, I can literally just grab this level, put it on, and then mark down a wall. And again, I now know where I'm going to be like putting me screws. And then, but if you can't see your marks for whatever reason, which you should be able to, you've got a second point of reference because you've got that one on the floor. Perfect, isn't it? Now, also, when you put the first one up, don't just think to yourself, that's it, it's in, I'm just going to fish it and crack on. Get it up, get a screw in it, stick your level on it again, just to make sure it's sitting exactly where it needs to, all right? And then you can screw it in, because that way you know that each and every one's going to run off level. You're just checking things as you go because it's the sensible thing to do. So that is it. I'm now going to run this wall and see how far I can get. Might get it done today, might not. Time is a ticking, but I shall see what's happening. I'll see you in a minute. And that is it for the day. Not a bad day at all. So now you can see back wall plasterboarded. Nice and tight up against the ceiling. So what will happen on Monday is I will get back in, because I'm not in tomorrow. I'll get back in on Monday. I will finish plasterboarding these two walls and do the fiddle a little bit around all of those. Once I've done that, I want to get scrim tape and tape up all the joints beautifully, including around the corner, around the edge of the joint here. So just 50mm of it on one side, 50, not 50mm, but 50-50 split between the two. saves cracks and stuff in the corner of the rooms. Well, it helps to minimize it anyway. So that is it. If you've liked this, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon. If you've got any questions, ping them over to me. Share the content, give it to your mates. Why not? It'd be something to watch, wouldn't it? Yeah, happy days. So whatever you're up to, have a fantastic one, and I'll see you guys on Monday. Bye.